Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool are out of the FA Cup again, early doors. Bruv, does Klopp even care, bruv? Does he actually even care about the FA Cup? Because it's one of them ones. I've been hearing fans already saying, you know what, we don't care. We
do care, bruv.
Listen, they're saying, they're saying we're focused on bigger and better things and all this kind of stuff, yeah? But let's be real. Every single day, it just don't, like, the first half was the worst first half I've ever seen of football, I think. Not even for Liverpool's performance, the worst I've ever seen. It was dead. And that just showed me straight away, I was like, you know what? Klopp actually does not give a fuck. And then, but for me as a fan, I'm actually pissed. Like, for fans who actually went out there to the Midlands and watched that garbage, for me, every great team goes far in cup competitions as far as I can remember.
Well, let's put it like this. Man City said their targets win 4 trophies.
That's it. They win everything, bro. That's what they go for.
They don't have to fuck spiders, bruv. They have to do the thing. Do you know what I mean? They want to win trophies, bruv. And like Liverpool are here, it's like, oh, well, we're at the League Cup. Oh, well, never mind. We'll focus on everything else. Oh, never mind. Bruv, there's no never minds out here, fam. We ain't won a trophy for a hot minute. And listen, I know I'm the sort of person that says, listen, it doesn't matter if, you know, at the end of the day, no one, if I asked you who won the League Cup 3 years ago or 2 years ago, people have to, we have to go, what? Do you know what I mean? And same thing for FA Cup, you have to go, well, I'm not sure. But the problem is, Man United, they done it. Under Mourinho, they won cups, they won trophies. And obviously I know he's out of a job, but that's because they were playing dead football. But Arsene Wenger won 3 FA Cups or whatever. But that stuff, it goes down in history. That is what makes history, a club's history. Liverpool, they talk about this big history, and we have got a huge history, and it's glittered with trophies and stuff like that. But when was the last time we won a trophy? Apart from them Hong Kong trophies and that.
You know what, for me, it's not even a match like history. It's, for me, it's about momentum. And like that year that Liverpool won like 5 trophies way back, right? It was like the team almost had a winning mentality about them. They knew that even in the game,
how to win finals.
That's it. Yeah. And then even when I think it was a FA Cup against, or Carling Cup, whatever it was, against Arsenal, they were down. Owen came back and scored 2 goals. It was just that feeling inside that, you know, we can go and win these things. And for me now, it's not. I'm not saying it's like I feel sorry for Brighton, because I think you're gonna get a backlash of what's been the last 2 games. But for me, it's like all the main teams are in the draw afterwards. Like all the top teams are still in it. And since Klopp's been here, I don't know if he does not take them seriously or whatnot. But we're out, and I'm actually vexed. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually vexed that we're out, and the way we went out as well. Some of the performances today were horrible, bruv. We could start with your man Sturridge, bruv.
Bro, listen, well, don't bring him to me, bruv. I told you straight. I've said my piece on him anyway. I've said it for a while. But the only thing I would say is that there's a bit of, I'm not going to defend his performance, because I didn't think he was. I'm not going to sit here and say he was a 10 out of 10 by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody was. But Divock Origi scored a goal. He done something that shows that there's potential there in that player. Now I'm not sitting here and saying, oh yeah, well, you know, everyone else is shit, but he was good. But all I'm saying is it shows that guy's, there's something to work with there, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. But Sturridge,
his body language
is like, I'm too big for this.
Exactly. That's what it looked like today. I want to see what other viewers think about it. Today, it wasn't just a very bad performance. It was like he could not give a fuck. It was like he was vexed that you'd called him up for this fixture.
What, me? What, his? Are you mad? He's like, excuse me. Do you know what I mean?
It was literally, I mean, if someone could tell me how many touches he had in the whole game, I would like to know. Liverpool had, I believe, I could be wrong, they had 9 touches in Wolves' penalty box, bro. Or 18-yard box, whatever you want to call it. 9 touches all game. And there was no link-up play. There was no nothing. The midfield, they didn't have a great game, but they weren't even coming to collect the ball. It was only after Origi scored the goal, you saw Origi, he literally was everywhere. He was peeling off, coming right down to the halfway line into his own half to win the ball back. But I want to know what people who defend Sturridge here, what does he offer us right now? What does he offer us? I don't see it.
Do you know the other thing I would say is, I know it's different opposition, but we played Man City, this time last week or whatever? You know, I missed Thursday, whatever. It was a week ago, yeah? Now, when we played Man City, everyone talked about that and how everyone said what a great game of football it was because of like the intensity of the game, how like it was like, it's like a chess match, whatever. Now, Man City had showed that they've got a lot of quality throughout the squad. They went out and thumped that team the other day, I don't know, Rotherham, whatever, 7-0, yeah? Light work. in a bit. I know Liverpool have to play Wolves, but the point I'm trying to make is that the quality in that team is just not there. Now, the big problem we argued about this a lot about letting Solanke go. Now, obviously, as everybody knows, this guy might as well be Solanke's agent, yeah, because he literally sells it. He says he's the best thing since sliced bread.
No, come on, let's not get too. I'm just saying.
But
I
you
rate the guy.
fully hurt, bro, when you left.
I'm vexed that we sold him. But like today, I would love to see Solanke play in Sturridge. That's what you're probably trying to allude to as well.
That's what I'm alluding to. Now, today, I'm looking at them thinking, Camacho, Jones,
man like Gianna.
that played. And I look at that team, I'm thinking, I would have loved to have seen Kleiny in there. I would have loved to have seen Woodburn, Solanke, Wilson. Now, I know Wilson's learning his trade elsewhere. I'm cool with that. Woodburn, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's even getting games. Ajaria, didn't like it in Scotland. Yeah, he's coming to RG, right? So all these players, I know they're out on loan and whatever, but that's it's at the club detriment now. Because now we're putting out players, 16-year-olds, to play centre-back. He's a right-back. He's 16 for a start. He's playing against Wolves at Molineux. When Wolves have got a decent side, let's not make no bones about it. They had some top ballers out, and you got a 16-year-old playing at centre back. Come on now.
And he actually played sick. He actually showed why Klopp has brought him into the team. The guy was doing some amazing work. He has so much confidence on the ball. That was what baffled me for a 16-year-old. And then Mignolet wasn't even helping him out. Mignolet was giving the ball to him like in off-key positions, like in literally no time, and making him make some mistakes.
Mignolet's like trying to say like, if I'm looking dead, you looking dead too.
But, you know, he impressed me a lot. So big shout out to Gianna, right? Because Hove, I mean, he smashed it. For a 16-year-old. Young Hove, that's going to be a nickname. But, I mean, yeah, for a 16-year-old to come on, show that much confidence on the ball. And he made a few mistakes, but this is what it's about. It's about learning. So I'm not going to dig out people like Camacho and Jones. I think Jones was, in his game, he probably wasn't the best out of the three. He was very predictable. But, you know, once again, you're going to learn a lot from this. And Camacho was involved in a lot of stuff. And he was up and down that pitch. He was trying to show weights as well. So he was bullying some people. He took a few shots which were a bit like, come on now. But once again, it's a learning curve. So all of those three, you know, hats off. But the seniors today, I said, let Liverpool down. The seniors. Sturridge, non-existent. Moreno, just go, bruv. Just leave. Just go. Because what do you offer Liverpool right now? He demonstrated today why this guy does not get a sniff into the team.
And he's out here making noise as well about, I'm not getting minutes. Bro, there's a reason for you not getting minutes. You're dead.
The way he was charging in, you know what Moreno does? Just being Moreno, bro.
But this is the thing that, you know, everyone says, Liverpool spent loads of money, let's spend loads of money. It shows that the goal for it, why Klopp had to spend P. He cannot be trusting Mignolet on that pitch. You can't rely on Sturridge on that pitch. Milner, listen, I like Milner. Don't get me wrong, I like Milner. But in a squad, that guy, you know that for the first goal, their defender genuinely battered him up, you know that? He actually gripped him up, dashed him about, saying, listen, no entry for thee.
But I swear, was it the first goal? It was the first goal, wasn't it? When Milner just fell over, he lost the ball against three people.
And then he got buoyed off by that mate.
And then he got buoyed off again. And then he was like literally running. It's like he tried. It was like an old man trying to make, and it was like a free shot.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't sit here and I would never gun Milner because of what he's. Somebody said it today. He's somebody that has made the best of what they got. Yeah, he wasn't at his best today. Granted, he wasn't at his best. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't think anybody was. Are you looking at people these players that want to stake a claim that I want to be starting regularly? I think it shows today why they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. What the level is between them and the Firminos and the Salahs and the Manes and, you know, like Firmino at centre back for that goal, he came flying out. If you're going to do that, you have got to be doing something.
Wiping someone out.
You got to be wiping somebody out. The company that get Salah the other day, bruv, he done something. He didn't get sent off. He got booked or whatever. But you got to be catching somebody. That's a midfielder's tackle for me because it's like normally I can fly in there, but there's protection. But yeah, I think those senior players today have to have a serious look at themselves and say, look, you know what? We weren't at it. As far as I'm concerned. Now, the one message that I would say to Klopp would be, do you want to do some business? What business? Transfers. There has to be something done now.
There has to be something to be done. Like I was saying, like you got rid of Klein. Now you got Lovren who's injured. Yeah, for the first 3 minutes. You've been warming up all this time. I don't even get it. He didn't even do a sprint.
You know, for me, I reckon that he went into that game injured. I believe that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
I do. Because I think he went into that game injured, thinking, you know what, I'll be all right. I have to play. I'll be all right.
I don't know. I think Liverpool can't afford to take this risk now. You could be right, but I just think we're so short on defenders anyway. Like now, like you said, we got rid of Klein, right? I still don't make sense to me. We're short already.
He sees this young lad as a guy that's going to play ahead of Klein. Apparently, that's the news, and you let him go. Now, for me, and obviously they're selfish as a Liverpool fan. Klein, I would love to see Klein at Liverpool. I'd start him more regularly. I think he's a top player. Trent's brilliant. But how can the sheer class of the person is if you can dash him in, he ain't played for ages, and you dash him in against Man United, and he's calm as you like, not a problem. That free kick from Big Shaq, nuts. What I will say is, I don't think any criticism towards Mignolet for that last goal is wrong. How can you start the ball outside the goal? It swazzes back. And it just comes inside the... Come on, man.
I see Paulin's saying shit like, oh, he stepped over to the left, he was too committed to the left. Come on. You ain't stopping that, bruv. It was Tekers was nuts.
Yeah, it's a good goal. It's a good goal. But I'm just saying, it's just disappointing to get knocked out at this competition at this stage. And again, it's deserved. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you know what, it was raw because there was injuries, or this is wrong, this is wrong.
Wolves deserved it.
Wolves were better than Liverpool. They put a better team, they took the competition more seriously, and they have progressed to the next round.
And Neves is levels. He's levels, bro. Even in it wasn't just take his goal out of it, just his distribution and what he was bossing the midfield, and that's what I'm sorry to say, but that's not someone that we need just to do things like that in the middle of the park.
But yeah, I would like to see Klopp do some business because I do think we need some reinforcements. The business he's doing is he's getting rid of man, and I keep hearing people like this young lad, that Barcelona graduate that came to Liverpool, linked with Lazio. I'm reading that they are looking at Lallana, Fenerbahce. Well, that's fine. Because some of these players need to be shifted out. I know Moreno is going to dig his heels in and he's going to run out his contract to go on a free. Fine. Markovic is still there on loot. I get that. Some situations you can't get rid of. But there needs to be. I think we need some bodies in the door. And it's tough to do. It's a tough window, but something needs to be done. I believe.
Yeah, especially in the position that we're in as well. Because you might go back and look at it and think you'll regret it that we were in such a good position. And all we needed was some little reinforcements here and there. I mean, when Salah and Firmino came on, the whole game changed. You suddenly saw Shaqiri involved in the game. You suddenly saw Origi. You suddenly started seeing moves and passes, and the whole game changed. And the possession stats changed, everything like that. And it just showed that the link up between the midfield and strikers was non-existent. And that you said the first team are levels, but when people say Liverpool got the squad, but when you dig deep, the quality
they're only good. They're only good when they're playing with them top players.
Yeah, but even like you said, like you talk about Man City, when you dig deep into that squad, the quality is not actually there. It's not there. They proved it today.
Man City.
Look, Man City's quality. Sorry, I meant to say is very good.
I was about to say.
If you dig at Liverpool's squad deep, the quality is not there.
And the thing is, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, but they got Sturridge on the bench." Well, there's a reason why he's on the bench. I'm sorry. And the people are like, oh yeah, and they still got, Moreno, he's all right. He's not all right.
He's not all right, bro.
He's not right. He's a troubled guy, bro. He's a troubled cat. All that ink that he's got on his leg and his hands and that's obviously got into his bloodstream and it's causing havoc, bro.
So, I mean, let us know your views on the whole situation of the FA Cup. Do you think we're overreacting by the FA Cup, or do you agree with us that you think, you know what, this should be used and taken seriously and use momentum, or are you on the completely other side thinking, hey, look, we're out, just focus on these two main trophies, and go from there.
And do you reckon we need to do some business?
Yeah, definitely. So until the next one, don't forget to share, like and subscribe, peoples. Peace.